Hey everybody around the world, this is Martin Rooney and it is Friday, and that means we are live with another big idea. And as you know, if you've been watching the big idea for the last 17 weeks straight, yes, that's right, this is the big idea number 17, I cannot believe it. For the last 17 weeks straight, no matter where I am in the world, I am trying to bring you the big idea. Now, if you're joining me for the first time and you want to understand what the big idea is, let me explain using, as you can always see, these high-tech graphics that we take weeks to put together, right? Well, actually, these got put together in the last 15 minutes, and you're going to see there's going to be artwork used by other people today. I'm actually going to be showing off other people's art, and they realized drawing is not as easy as they thought. But the big idea, here's how it works. Throughout the week, no matter where I am, and today I am live in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida, and we are here at Training for Warriors, Ponte Vedra Beach, and we are going to be going over the big idea, but let me show how it works. Throughout the week, I get some little ideas. I get these little ideas that they come to me, these little ideas, and I let those ideas marinate, I let those ideas settle into my brain, and then boom, I get a big idea. I try to play with those ideas, crystallize a big idea, and then do the most important thing. And that's what you're going to hear from the live studio audience today. Then you got to share the big idea. See, if you get the big idea and you keep the big idea to yourself, man, you're helping one person. But share the big idea and you could be helping millions. And that's why we're doing it today. So, big idea, little ideas turn into a lot. And here's the idea. Last week, if you saw me, I was in California. The week before that, I can't even remember where I was right now, but I know I was somewhere else. But it might have been North Carolina, but I know there was Germany in there, and I know there was Seattle in there, and I know, man, help me out, the camera guy, we were in South Carolina, we were in Buffalo, New York. I can't even remember, yeah, Helsinki, Finland. I don't even remember all the places anymore. But I will say this. Last week was about charging the batteries. You know what? I did that. But as I was doing that, I got the big idea. And see, the big idea was that I wasn't working so hard and I haven't been doing all this stuff that I can't even remember all the places I've been. I'm not doing it so I don't have to work someday. I'm not doing it so I can get to take the day off. I'm doing it because I'm building skills and I'm getting more energy to take the day on. So there's the big idea for you, and we're going to talk about that today. So what about you? Are you trying to take the day off? Are you spending a lot of your time trying to figure out how to get out of work? Are you working now thinking that, oh wow, I'm working so that someday I can just sit around and do nothing? Because I'm going to tell you something really important today, and then I'm going to say it again at the end. I heard this from a very, very successful person, multi-millionaire that I know, and he said, Martin, 24 hours is a long time to have nothing to do. 24 hours to be able to just take the day off gets real old real fast. The most successful people, the people that develop the most skills, they're taking the day on, and I want to bring that idea for you. So, you got a choice of what switch you want to flip. Now, this one was not drawn by me, so make sure, we'll see if you get that across. But are you taking the day on? Are you switching it on? Or are you switching it off? And I want to share a little story about my history that I'll share, because I got a couple stories about work today. One of my original jobs, and hey, first, let's introduce everybody. So guys, we have a live studio audience. The big idea is always easier when you got a big live studio audience. And hey, they are here for coaching greatness this weekend. We have been going over that for half a day. We still got another half a day to go. But one of the big ideas was about your job and how you do it and what you do. And I want to share a couple of stories about that today on the big idea. Before I did what I do now, and before I was an orthopedic therapist, and before I worked in the labs when I was in college, before I was a waiter, hey, one of my first jobs that I ever got was my dad's friend. He worked at Revlon. So in New Jersey, he worked at the factory of Revlon. His dad got us a job because we were only 16 years old, and my job was to be a picker. What I had to do was they would give me a piece of paper like this. I would go to the warehouse. I would fill this box with these things that somebody had ordered and bring the box back. And man, when I did that job, I'll tell you a little secret. No matter what job you have, if you do a great job at it, your job is going to get better. And so I said to myself, well, wow, that's the job, then I got to see how many boxes I can fill. How many boxes can I fill in a day? It'll keep me busy. And these guys that have been there a long time, these guys that were there a long time, they took me under their wing and they said, man, you're crazy. Why are you going so fast, man? Take it easy. Let me show you how you do this job. And what this guy did is they took me into the warehouse and they showed me how they move boxes out of the way on the second level, and they would hide. They would go in there and they would hide all day and fall asleep. Then when it was lunchtime, they would come back out. They would go to lunch. Then they would come back, hide the rest of the day, do no work, and then punch their card and leave. What were they trying to do?
Take the day
They were
off.
taking the day off. You know, so hey, taking the day off is not the secret. We are not there to take the day off, man. I was there to take the day on, and they didn't like it. So what's one of the messages right there? Hey, if you're doing a great job and you're really working hard, most of the world's not going to want you to do that. Most of the world's going to say, take it easy, man. You don't need to work so hard. But that is not the secret. So how did I do it? How did I do it? I changed 2 vowels. And I want to give you this gift right now. See, you could be saying this when you woke up this morning. Man, I got to go to work. Oh, I got to go get the kids. Oh, I got to do this. I got to get ready for school. I got to read this book. I got to do this stuff for work. No. See, what you're going to understand when you understand the power of time and that there's only going to be so many 24 hours that you get, you don't got to do it. You get to do it. So I want you guys to see this one right here will determine where you go in life. Which vowel are you using? Are you using get to or are you using got to? It's a big choice right there. Do you gotta do it? No, you don't gotta do it. You don't gotta wake up. You don't gotta go to work. You really don't got to. You get to do that. See, I woke up and I said, I get to fill those boxes. I get to see how many boxes I can fill. The other guy said, man, I gotta go do this, so I'm gonna go hide and do nothing. Big challenge for you, because I'll tell you this. You change that one word in your vocabulary and you will change your life and the lives of people around you. So, ultimately, why are we doing it? Why are we doing it? Because we want to go to Success Street. Would anybody here like some success?
Yeah.
Is this an English speaking audience? Now, we are going to be talking about how to succeed today, but first, before you know how to get success, you got to know what it is. How do you define that for yourself? See, at Coaching Greatness today, we've been doing that. I've been asking the big questions. What do you want? What do you want to do? How do you want to spend your time? And ultimately, guys, that's what success is all about. See, some people might say success is a lot of money. Some people might say success is having a nice car. Some people might say success is having a lot of stuff. But I think once those people get those things, if that's all they measured it by, even those people become unhappy too. And I want to talk about success, and it's success matched with your passion. So the first thing I would question you if you wanted to be a success is, what are you passionate about? Where do you like to spend your time? And then if you really understood that deep as the people that are going to go over this in this course this weekend, then what I would want you to understand is, how do you figure out how to spend your time doing that and then get paid for it? Because I believe the definition of success is doing what you love to do with people that you like while you do it. Think about that. If you got to spend every day doing what you love to do and it was with people that you really liked, you're going to be a success. I guarantee it. But if you spend most of your day, even though you get lots of money, or even though the job may sound important, you spend your day doing something you hate with a bunch of people you don't want to be around for 40 or 50 years, so that then you can say, now it's time to retire, I don't know if I consider that success or not. Maybe that's the opposite of that, because you could have done something more, right? So, how do I know? Because there's another famous story. I got my second job story for you. Would anybody like to hear another job story? Yeah. What do you guys? Now there's a good drawing right there. So as everybody can see, this is a guy sitting on a beach. He's got a couple of fish by him. Man, he's playing his guitar. He's got a couple of cervezas. He's enjoying his life. He's enjoying his life. And this is how the famous story goes. There's this guy sitting on this beach. And he's got his fish there, and he's playing his guitar, and he just looks so happy. And because he's so happy, this guy, this wealthy man comes up to him and says, hey, tell me a little bit about what you do, fisherman. And he says, oh, well, I'm a fisherman. I have my boat. I go catch a couple of fish with some of my friends that I like to be around. And then when we finish the day, we sit on the beach, we play the guitars, we sell the fish, and we have some beers. Man, it's a great life. And this wealthy guy goes, wait, tell me about that again. Hang on. Hey, so wait a minute. So you do this. Hey, do you know you could make a lot more money? And the guy goes, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, what you could do, hey, you could take that boat and instead of playing the guitar and having the beers and having fun, hey, you could work more. You could work more, and that could get you a second boat. And if you worked really, really hard and you got the second boat, then you could get a third boat. And now you could get lots of people working for you. You wouldn't really know them so well, but you would get a lot of people working for you. You would get more money, and then you would have a fleet of boats. And then someday, maybe 15 or 20 years from now, when you had an entire fleet of boats, you could sell that entire company. Don't you see what you've got here? You got a gold mine. And the guy says to him, well, if I did all those things and I worked so hard and I killed myself for the next 20 years doing it, what could I do then? Then once I sold the company, what would I do then? And you know what he said? He said, then you would get to sit every day on the beach, playing your guitar, drinking some beers. Wouldn't that be great? So guys, you know what it is? The moral of that story that I always say? The world is going to try to push you into things maybe that's not the best thing for you. The world is going to drive you for ideas that maybe that doesn't feel right. Like maybe that's not the thing that you're really after. So I'm challenging you to see my big idea. I give you a big idea, but what's your big idea? What's your career? What's your passion? What's the thing you're supposed to be doing? Hey, maybe it's what you're going to see, guys, now being in business for so long, it's not money that drives people. It's appreciation and a job well done and work that really makes them a better version of themselves. So I'm going to challenge everybody listening to this call right now. If you are not in a job like that, you need to find it. And you got to be able to be true enough to find your own idea. Now, the signs are out there, and I'm going to poll the crowd for this one. The signs are out there, because right now you might say, well, Martin, how do I know if I have the job that I want? Or how do I know if I have the job that I don't want? So I'm going to poll the studio audience. This is like you get a lifeline right now, and you get to call in and see about it. So you can, there are signs everywhere, and we're going to go over some of them. So right now, somebody tell me, what would be give me a sign that your job is not the job you should be doing every day. What would be a good sign? There's a good one. Hey, did you hear that? Don't want to get out of bed in the morning. So if you're finding it hard to get out of bed, you're not leaping out of bed on Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday, but then Saturday morning you do leap out of bed for that one thing you do like doing, bad sign that you got a job you shouldn't be doing. What's another one?
Don't feel appreciated.
All right, hey, you go to a job and no matter how hard you work, man, it's just always negative. People are coming down on you. You're stressed out of your mind. Not probably the place you should be spending the next 30 years. Although you probably won't get 30 years out of it because it'll kill you first. All right, next one.
You're not finding a way to make it better.
What's that?
You're not finding a way to do it better.
All right, hey, you got a job and you can't figure out how to make it better. Maybe that's the time to get out of there. Hey, you're embarrassed of the job that you have. That would definitely be one to get out of there. Unless you don't mind dressing up weird like that guy over there. All right. What do we got? Anything else?
You dread Sundays because Mondays come.
There we go. Hey, that's called in scientific literature the Monday blues. So if you got the Monday blues, that Sunday is already ruined because you're waking up with a knot in your gut because you know you got to go back on Monday. Guys, you better act and act fast. Get out of that job, find another job, and here's what I'll say, a little advice for you. What's the worst thing that could happen? The worst thing that can happen is you go shoot for your dreams and maybe it doesn't happen, then go back to the lousy job that you already were good at, right? And that might be, hey, a great piece of advice that I'm having a lightning bolt moment right now. A great piece of advice too, since we're talking about jobs and vocations. Hey, don't get good at something you don't like. One of the biggest mistakes that I was making for a while, my mom said this is what you should do, and I was trying to figure out how to get good at something I wasn't into. And then that's the worst thing that can happen because then you will make some money or you will be considered as a success by others, but man, it's not what you love. So guys, if you are in a job and you're not even interested in it, don't spend your time getting really good at it because it'll only make it harder to leave. What about some other ones, tough ones? Like,
your health begins to suffer.
Hey, guys, you're gaining weight. Your blood pressure is high, your cholesterol is high, but you got a lot of money in the bank, you're going to start to realize real fast as your health deteriorates that doesn't matter. Your first wealth is your health. If you don't have that, guys, nothing else matters. And if your job is hurting it, then it's time to figure out another job. And I know it's easy to say these things, but guys, making these moves can be the best thing for you, the best thing for your family, and ultimately the best thing for your future. So if we got those, hey, we got the stop signs. Hey, but what about going one way towards your dreams? What would be some signs you got a job you do love? What would be some good signs?
It's not work.
That guy back there, he hasn't worked, you know, since he's put. Hey, so let's take a look at this place. So we need to do a little tour here. Let me take it on tour. So as you can see, guys, this is what we call Training for Warriors paradise right here. We'll go up to the Training for Warriors cafe and lounge right now. You know, so right up here, we got the signs, we got the resistance. We'll drop down so you can see the black and gold turf. But they have got all the pieces going here. And guys, I'll tell you what, to come here is an absolute treat and an experience. Look at that down there with the black and gold turf. Everybody live studio audience again. And guys, when you see the dojo here that we have put together, hey, when he comes here, he's not coming to work. He's not coming to work. He hasn't worked a day in a long time because he's having a blast when he does it. So what would be another sign?
You can't wait to tell somebody about your product.
All right, hey, can't wait to tell somebody about what you do, or even more important, other people can't wait to tell somebody about it. That is a lagging indicator of an absolute job well done. Any other ones? That tells me that we got some people that need to start switching some jobs around.
Hey, what about in the Facebook world? Any ideas?
All right, yeah, and hey, so and for everybody listening too, we're not just going to the studio audience. If you've got ideas on, hey, some signs that this is the job you shouldn't have, or some signs that it is the perfect job, put it in there. Because as I say every week on The Big Idea, when everybody shares, everybody wins. I want this to be a forum because right now, somebody is experiencing the same pain you have, or you could help somebody get out of that pain if you've learned from it, but it'll only happen if you put those comments down there to help somebody else. So again, if you have got some ideas on, hey, you got something happened to you and you knew that told you it was the wrong job, put it in there. And if it was the right one, guys, give some people some tips because I think everybody needs it. And I'll say this, look at this one. Which one do you get excited about?
TGIF, baby. TGIF.
See, which one do you get excited about? So, we got, thank God it's Friday, or thank God it's Monday. See, I'll say this, when you love your job, man, you can't wait for Monday. You're fired up, it gets you up early, you're ready to attack, and it's keeping you up late. So that would be a sign. But if you will catch yourself, thank God it's Friday, oh man, counting the minutes till 5 o'clock on Friday, that is the ultimate sign that it's probably not your passion. It's probably not the job that you are going to change people's lives or make a big enough impact on planet Earth before you go. So, hey, these 4 letters, we joke about them, but man, start to take them super, super serious. And before we go to some quick comments and questions, I want that final reminder again. So, guys, what's its number? 24. And see, what's interesting is so many people that I meet, they act like 24 hours isn't enough. Like they'll say, I've talked about this on The Big Idea. I say the most dangerous word in the English language is I'm busy. Like, man, I'm just so busy. I'm so busy, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do this. Well, I want you to think of 24 hours as another way. Another way is if you don't have passionate work and you're not doing anything that's important to you and you don't have a lot to take on during the day, 24 hours becomes a long time. If you're counting those minutes, you're hiding behind the boxes until you can punch your card, 24 hours becomes a long time to skate through life. So I'm giving you that challenge as The Big Idea today. If you're just joining us right now, hey, you got a choice. You could take the day off. You can work your whole life to think about taking the day off, or you can develop the skills and the passion to take the day on. And I promise, when you are waking up every day doing what you love to do with people you like being around, man, you will always have boundless energy and you will always be on fire to inspire somebody else. So 24 hours, it's your choice what happens in them. These are the same 24 hours that every successful person in history has had. Nobody gets more or less time than you. It's just what you do with it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed a little bit of The Big Idea number 17. We're going to keep bringing them. I am here in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida right now at the Training for Warriors Dojo with the live studio. Where is John Prano? People are asking right now. He's probably checking in. But, hey, if you put any of your comments or anything below, I will answer them later today because I got to get back to presenting. But thanks for joining me. And the last way you can thank me is, hey, share this. If you think it's an important piece of information, if you think it's something that somebody needs, share it with somebody else because as you share, everybody wins. Keeping it to yourself only makes one person better. But, man, sharing it can help a lot. So I hope you enjoyed this one and your homework for this weekend. Your homework, take a deep look. What is it that you love to do? Where would you be spending your time even if you didn't get paid for it? If you can figure that out and how to make that your job, you will never work another day in your life, guaranteed. So this is Martin Rooney from Ponte Vedra Beach, and for this live studio audience, we are going to be handing it back. Well, not handing it back. The show is over, and hey, I'll be bringing you another one next week from somewhere else in the world.